Welcome to Inside Sports, and we've got a great show for you today with some great people here. That doesn't include me. I haven't added myself in yet. But anyway, David Carroll, John West, Chris Marks. Wait a second, Chris, your team is not here.
It's not this year.
That's right.
Oh, darn.
Oh, well.
But he's an objective member of the press. He doesn't really have a team.
No, very objective today.
He's an objective member of the press.
Objective today.
Everyone stinks.
Everyone, huh? Okay, let's get it started. Who wants to start, and who wants to start and tell me what is the biggest subject going on at Super Bowl time down south?
Let's go clockwise.
Well, we know we have a good game, a good matchup between the Harbaugh brothers, and it's going to be an interesting matchup because both teams are about the same. Good defenses, offenses that are coming alive. The 49ers got Colin Kaepernick in the game. And once he got in, it electrified their offense. Joe Flacco's playing out of his mind. He must want to get paid after the season is over, and it's going to be a good matchup.
What is this? Oh, I was just trying to do a little imitation.
Kaepernicking.
Yes, Kaepernicking.
You got the tats in the arm to match that too?
McCaffrey, Kaepernicking. Okay. Anyway, that's a pretty good start. Of course, I know you probably wanted to talk a little bit more about Charlie Batch or somebody like that.
No, let's stick to the Super Bowl today. Let's stick to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I think my favorite story's got to be the whole final ride story. Ray Endon, several players on that Ravens defense probably not coming back. Kind of catching lightning in the bottle, one last chance. I think that's a big story all week long, and hopefully take them during the game.
Outside of Ray Lewis, who do you think is one of the outstanding players on the defense?
Well, I think Suggs is the next best one, and he's probably as healthy as he's been all year long. I think that Lodi Nada and Kruger have been playing fantastic all year long. So I think it's Suggs second.
You like Suggs,
I love my Sizz. He's great.
How about the New York writer that called him Thug Suggs?
Well, I think Suggs loves being villainized, being the villain, rest of the country, and being beloved here in Baltimore. And so that just fuels him. Last year he got on the NFL Network and was answering questions about where he keeps football quarterbacks like heads, like I keep it in a fridge in the locker in his basement or something like that. It's crazy. He loves that stuff. So I think the New York writer doing that is just fuel for him. So.
Well, there's also another great story in the New York Times today about the Baltimore Ravens and how they've really gotten together and become a team. So I think it's an interesting one.
I think that starts with Ray Lewis. It really does. They all rally around him.
What do you think, Dave?
I think the great thing about the Super Bowl is the Harbaugh story is great. The two Harbaugh brothers is a great story. Ray Lewis retiring is a great story. So there's a lot of dramatic underlines to the Super Bowl, and not all Super Bowls have that. Some of them are just bland. This one has a lot of drama to it, and it's a big year for the Ravens to win because this is a team. Next year, it's going to be a team in transition. Losing Ray Lewis is a big deal for the Ravens. Ed Reed's more than likely not coming back, which is another big deal. Those two guys are the leaders in that locker room, and the Ravens are going to have some holes to fill. You know, they're going to have some cap issues, and as far as Flacco, not having Flacco signed yet, Ellerby's not signed, who's one of their probably their best linebacker at this point.
Kruger's not signed.
Obviously, and Kruger's not signed. So the Ravens are going to be a different team next year, and so I think it's going to put even more pressure. And that they know that the group of guys that are on the field now that are with this team, they're not going to be together next year. This group is their last ride. Okay, next year when they hit the field, this will be a different team.
And I like what you said there about the salary cap with the Ravens, because these guys are playing lights out right now at the right time. I made that comment about Joe Flacco. Inconsistent maybe his whole career, but these last couple of games, he's been dead on when it matters. Paul Kruger, dead on in the playoffs. These guys know that the contract's coming up. Bang, they're hitting it.
Well, you know, another thing this highlights, too, with the Ravens, just like the Giants, the Ravens got hot at the end. And that's the formula for the NFL. You can play lights out like the Broncos all season long, just like the Broncos did. All year long, lights out. But then they couldn't get it done in the playoffs. So what's it worth? It's worth nothing. You got to get hot at the end like the Giants did last year and the Ravens did this year. Ravens had a terrible stretch, 2 or 3 games where they couldn't beat anybody. They got hot. and now they're in the Super Bowl, and that's what you have to do. And I think you're going to see more teams constructing the way that they handle the season more like that, not blowing their wad earlier in the season.
You got the Packers a couple years before that, who I think were the 6th seed. The Steelers won it when Bettis was a final last ride thing. So you're absolutely right. It's that last ride getting in. I think that in addition to those games that the Ravens were losing at the end, they were winning games earlier in the year that they almost should have been losing. The Kansas City, they gave up 200 yards rushing. Dallas, they gave up 200 yards. Houston, they gave up close to that. Then they barely won in San Diego. So they were really kind of winning by the skin of their teeth all year long. And that builds that character so that when they finally switch it on, they get rid of their offensive coordinator, they kind of take the leashes off Joe. He's playing as well as he wants his contract to be. Then it could be magical.
Well, there's two keys for the Ravens. Two. Letting Cameron go.
Okay.
Was huge. Okay, it opened up the offense, gave Flacco. The second big thing for the offense was getting Bryant McKinney out of the doghouse and onto the field when Ja Reed went down. And now the offensive line formation that they have now is the best they've had all season. And McKinney's very healthy, because he hasn't played all year. He's only played 2 or 3 games.
Yep.
But yet he's the best left tackle. He's been the best left tackle they've had all year.
On the roster all year long.
But because of everything that happened early in the season, he couldn't get on the field.
That was a doghouse.
He was in the doghouse, came into camp out of shape. The Ravens had cut him, actually. He was cut and then re-signed for less money. And now he solidified that offensive line, which right now the Ravens have the best offensive line in the playoffs.
And they're taking on the best defense they're going to see all year.
Oh, yeah.
Because San Francisco's defense is spot on.
Their linebackers are. I think I'm not as impressed with their defensive backs, but their linebackers, I agree, they're the best 3 linebackers in all football.
And that front 3 for those linebackers really do a good job eating up the blocks.
They really do.
So you're going to have to throw over the linebackers, but still get it in front of the safety. That's hard to do.
When you look at them, a lot of these teams have to take their linebackers off the field during passing situations, but they don't because Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, who, well, I might add, from right here in Prince George's County, Suitland High School, let me throw that out there. We've covered him for a long time. These guys can run tight ends down the seam.
Yeah, and but what the Ravens will be able to counter that because they're one of the unique offenses in the fact that they're equally comfortable throwing or running the ball. They can give the ball, especially Bernard Pierce has come on the past few games and has been the dominant runner, and he's a much different kind of runner than Ray Rice is. He's more of a ground and pound instead of a slicer, a cutback guy like Ray Rice is. And if the Ravens need to run it, they can. If they need to throw it, they can, and not every team can say that. So I think Caldwell, based on what he's done so far in the playoffs, he'll adjust. And if the linebackers and defensive end are ultra aggressive, then the Ravens will just let them run upfield and run right past them with a delay screen or something like that.
Let me ask you, with the cap issues they have and the age in the offensive line, yet both Burke and McKinney may be playing their best football this year. Do you think that for a lower cap number they'll invite them back and then this offensive line will be the same next year? Or do you think they'll get rid of Williams?
Well, Burke's on a 2-year deal anyway.
Okay, so he's coming back.
Come back.
But McKinney they can come back with this time next year.
With McKinney, they have a thing called a veteran credit. Yep. They can sign him for the league minimum and only count X amount against.
All right, so that's done.
Cap.
He'll do that.
Now, but
he's got to stay out of that. Didn't Mendenhall get in a doghouse like that with Pittsburgh?
Yes, and he's going to be.
He's gone. So McKinney crawled out of it somehow.
He crawled out of it. The other thing, though, he's playing like this. Some of them might offer him a lot of money on a 1-2 year deal.
You're right.
McKinney?
Left tackle free agent?
I know, but with his history, he's one of those flaky offensive linemen like Gaither. Jared Gaither went to San Diego, played well, and then last year he had a quote-unquote back injury all year, just like he had with. I don't see anybody offering McKinney big money. I just don't. I don't see that happening. I think Burke retires.
Plug-in left tackles are hard to find.
Yeah. I think Burke didn't retire last year because he knew the Ravens didn't have a center that could step in and play NFL quality. Mm-hmm. They have Gino Gronkowski now. They played a couple games. He's going to be ready next year, and Burke knows it. I think Burke goes off into the sunset. He's not making any mention now because he wants to give Ray Lewis the spotlight, but I think Burke goes. I don't think Burke comes back.
So what do you think about that matchup, offense-defense? I think that it's going to be one heck of a matchup, San Francisco's D against Baltimore's offense.
Question is, do they have to blitz to get to Flacco?
Well, they have that guy, Smith.
That's Smith, and you're going to have to double-team him. Vonta Leach's responsibility in this game is going to have to be Smith and pick up that double team.
But that's all he does. I mean,
well, then I think he can do it.
No, it's all Smith does.
Is fight and beat double teams?
Yes, and blitz. And
it's going to be a hard matchup.
Did he have 20 sacks this year?
I don't know if he had 20.
Maybe it was 19.
Close.
But if you look what J.J. Watt did to the Ravens.
God. He did that coming up the middle, too.
But that's what Smith does. They're the same player.
But here's the difference. Here's the big difference. Everybody, you have to realize. The Ravens are a different offense under Jim Caldwell than they are under Cam Cameron. And the biggest difference that Caldwell brings is his adjustments. Cam Cameron had a real big problem with making adjustments to what the other team was doing. He would come in with a game plan, and we were going to live or die with that game plan. Either the Ravens were going to do well or weren't. And if the defense adjusted what they were doing, they would keep doing it or keep trying to do it. Caldwell adjusts. So if they do come heavy on the blitz, Caldwell will adjust, and he'll make them pay.
He did that last week.
Right.
The entire second half.
He'll make them pay.
All I saw, every play I saw the Ravens run was Ray Rice and Von Leach picking up the blitz, and then they were throwing over the safeties.
But what I'm trying to say is they really don't blitz. This is a team that doesn't blitz. They get there with their 4 guys.
That's a problem.
Yeah, they get there with their 3 down linemen, and then Smith, they run a 3-4.
Yeah.
But the four guys, either is a D end or an outside linebacker, but they generally only bring 4 guys.
But if they start getting close to Flacco, and they're being aggressive with the pass rush, Caldwell will adjust and call different plays to make them pay for getting too far upfield.
Well, you guys have really been doing it. And after this mention about where did Jim Harbaugh play quarterback in the NFL?
All over. Jim started in Chicago, then went to the Colts
and then the Ravens.
Ravens.
That's right.
Chicago Colts and Ravens.
A lot of big things. You know who Ray Lewis had his first sack against?
Jim
Harbaugh. Back in 1996.
I also like Matt Burke, and I don't think Matt Burke is going to retire this year.
I think he'll come back for one more.
I think my opinion is he'll retire.
Well, he's playing at a high level. There's no reason to retire.
But right now, we have to take a break, and we'll be right back after this for more picks and predictions and discussion. Be right back after this.
You know, one thing about getting a lot.